And that was a big yawn. Welcome back. This will be the second video of 2025. Today's a Saturday, so I wanted to start recording. I think I mentioned it in a previous video. You know, every Wednesday, kind of build a weekly schedule for this year, routine. Intended to record on Wednesday, but a few things happened that I'm sure we'll get into throughout this video. So yeah, I'm recording today instead. Orla is in college today, so she starts at 9:30 and finishes at 4. So I said, look, I have a bit of time to myself now. Let's get a recording out, as I said, once a week. And yeah, here we are, I suppose. So welcome back. I made a little list, so getting into the swing of things, I've made a list of things to talk about. I've got my glass of water. I've actually got a coffee here as well, just because it's a little bit earlier in the day than I usually record. And yeah, we'll crack into it. As expected, I suppose. I've forgotten what we were doing last episode. I went back and tried to watch episode 6 just to kind of refresh myself and stuff. But yeah, I can't remember. But I know we did catch Renoon, and when I was looking through previous episodes and stuff, it's the cat's sister. So maybe that's where I got it into my head that Renoon was a girl. But I mean, I'm labouring on this point that doesn't actually matter, you know. It doesn't matter what they are, you know. The main thing is they got to fight Cat Boss and they're happy and they feel accomplished. So I think I need to get back to the Geku store, which I think if I take a left up here, I've just done a big circle. If I take a left up here, it should be bringing us in the right direction. And I'm just trying to find a bin as well while I'm carrying this can to recycle it. Do you know, I've mentioned in a couple of videos, like doing the trophies. Every time I load up the game, just because of the way the Xbox app is on PC, you know, when you click into the game, there's trophies there, and I can't help but read them sometimes. So it's a little bit of a spoiler for me. You know, it kind of gives me pointers. I'm trying to keep this as kind of authentic as possible, where, you know, I'm not coming into these videos having googled how to fight the final boss. It's you know, out the gap, just me figuring out this game as we go. But the trophies kind of lead you in a certain direction, you know. So there was a few episodes where I was like, I didn't know you could recycle the cans and stuff, and then I seen the trophy and obviously copped it then. But anyway, why am I talking about this? What I'm trying to say is I don't know if we're gonna do all the trophies and stuff. I feel like that might be quite boring to watch. But what I was thinking is I might do a speed run. If I do want to go after all the trophies and do the 100 shinies and all this kind of thing, if I were to do that, I would do a time lapse essentially, somewhere in the middle of a video. So it's not just me running around, you know, picking up cans, talking to you guys, you know. So yeah, I remembered we caught Renoon, so we're going to talk to this guy here for a second. Hopefully this person wakes up. I'm still recovering. Oh, I am indeed. I've got 10 views on YouTube. I am the famous boss cat. Nice. Oh, very good. Making muffins. This human's gonna have the absolute back ripped off them. You know, like I actually don't know what we call it. We call it different things. See you later, Renan. We call it different things. You know, I think in the States they call it making biscuits. Sometimes we call it like just bacon, like kneading dough. I don't know if we actually have an official term in our house for it. But what I will say is it's a lot cuter from afar. Um, there'll be times where Nenya in particular loves to sleep in between Orla and I. Um, Mooney generally comes up onto our shoulders, but Nenya likes to lie in between us. And if they do, we'll call it making muffins. They rip the absolute arm off you. Um, and then finally they'll settle and they'll relax and such, and it's fine. But yeah, like, it's cute when they're doing it to a blanket, not so much when it's 2 o'clock in the morning and they're doing it to your neck. But I wouldn't have it any other way, to be honest. Okay. So why am I doing this? I'll wait till the music's over. No, it's not that one. Maybe it's this one I need to get to. No, okay. So, I thought that would work. Basically, I was watching a video in episode 6, so this should be episode 7. I don't know if I actually said that. In episode 6, I realised we'd gone through one of the Tanuki's portals and come out beside the dog with the balls. This elusive dog that I cannot find. So I was hoping I could teleport straight back to that portal, but if I look at the portal map, I think there was a portal down here, right? That's where we've just come from. Oh, so maybe, remember I was saying, is this a platypus? Maybe that's meant to represent Geku. This is the building site, which we've been around a lot, so I don't believe that's where he is. This isn't ringing any bells. The vegetables. Maybe that's like the convenience store. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, my thinking was I'll use the portals to get back to the dog, and find his balls, but no, not yet. Anyway, so look, I'm just after saying I don't like to Google things. I like to come into this game as kind of raw as possible, but I might need to Google where this dog is. Like I don't remember struggling before either. Yeah, we're going in the right direction towards this other portal. While we're at it, how many? Okay, catch some more birds as well. Yeah, I was right. Watch, the vegetables is the shop. So not much use to me, I suppose, at the moment, because I still don't know where I am. That's down towards the fishing area. Well, at least I've got continuity, guys. Episode 6, me running around looking for a dog. Episode 7, me running around looking for a dog. So, at least there's continuity. What I will do is go back into this shop, because I think I'm supposed to knock over some chess pieces as a trophy, I believe. I'm assuming it's this chessboard here. Hopefully you can't hear my keyboard. Yep, there we go. Very good. Hopefully you can't hear my keyboard too much. I noticed in episode 6 there was a few clicks at the start and stuff, so I'll try get that out of the videos where possible. And as well, we just did our mandatory run into a wall as well just now, so yeah, keeping up traditions. I don't think I've been up here before. What's that there? That's probably the way home, right? Surely. Which I don't want to do yet. I would like to do a little bit more and get as much... We're actually not too far off that. Sticky business. Bird's nest. Yep, sure. Okay, yeah. 20 humans. Petted 10 times. 100 objects. Boxes, yep. Catch 24. God, we've only caught 8. I mean, Probably only caught 8, but tried a million. Um, oh yeah, the chameleon. I forgot about him. Um, Convenience store, locked door. So that's like the little hideaway room that I got into before. So I think I need to go through a vent to get to there. Um, yeah, just get back home, of course. Read what's in front of me. In the dog's yard. Man, I'm really stumped by this. Which is hilarious. But anyway, I'll get into my little talking points. So I can't exactly remember where I left off on the cats and such and Christmas and all that from the previous episode, but something I did want to mention is the Christmas present that Orla and I got for the cats. So um, Astrid splashes. I may have already talked about this. Apologies if I have. Astrid likes to splash water. Um, we think it's because, as I said before, she really struggles with her front legs. So she goes into the litter, because they're indoor cats. We've litter trays and stuff like that. She goes into the litter, and I think her paws get dirty or maybe a little bit dry, and because she can't control her paws to clean them properly, as much as she'd like, um, she just uses the water instead. So the first present we got is a water fountain, and we've had a few different fountains before. One was just like a basin, essentially a reservoir that turned the water. So cats, I believe, don't like stagnant water, so they like it to keep moving. Um, that was our first one. Didn't solve the problem of the splashing because it's a big open reservoir. So essentially, imagine like a basin that you would put into a sink, a kitchen sink. So she was able to splash that everywhere, soaked our floor. Then we got another one, and I can't remember the brand, but it's, if you were to Google, cat fountain, it would be the first one that shows up. It's a popular brand. It's got like a little cat nose and whiskers on the front of it. That was good. That was actually quite a good one. They were still able to splash it a little bit, but because they were able to splash it, over time the water would drain. So if Orla and I were both working, over 8 hours, they would gradually reduce the water down to the point where it was empty, and the pump eventually burned out because it's not like it's just continuous flow. So if the pump is running, it will keep running, and it eventually burned out. And yeah, that was the end of that one. So we left it for a while. Whoops, dropped down. There we go. We left it for a while, just for no particular reason. We got them a water dish, went back to the old reliable, kind of got like a little waterproof mat underneath it to just, I suppose, mitigate the amount of water getting to the floor, but not a sustainable option, it's not a solution, it's a band-aid to the problem, rather than a cure. So anyway, we got them a new Christmas present, and it was a new fountain, and I think it was just off Amazon. Read a couple of reviews, and yeah, happy days so far. Seems all good. Definitely still some splashing, but not nearly as much, which is, exactly what we wanted. So that's great. Whoa. Knock a human over by jumping on them. Yeah, the Randy Orton from the top rung, man. Couldn't have asked for a better, couldn't have asked for a higher jump. Absolutely nailed her. I wonder how you'd explain that one to your health insurance, just walking down the street, presumably on my way to work, and I get absolutely lobbed in the head by a falling cat. Yeah, anyway. Again, running around here doing nothing, but I think hopefully what I'm talking about is of some interest anyway. So, yeah, I did clear that, and I did clear this as well. Let's have a look in here, because I can't actually remember what this is. Oh, yeah, it's just a bypass. Yeah, fountain so far has done what it said on the tin. Everything we needed it to do. Happy days. The other present that we got them was this new catchery. Hopefully you're kind of all familiar with what that is. And I'm not, obviously, episode 7, I kind of made a joke about it. I have like 10 views on one of my videos, you know. Obviously, I'm not sponsored. This isn't a paid subscription or anything like that. But I wanted to mention it on the video and kind of give this website, this business a call out, because it is such a good product. This new cat tree that we've got. So the cat trees are designed for Maine Coons, which are massive cats. They're like, some of them, I think the males can grow to the size of sheepdogs. You know, they're absolutely humongous. I don't want to give out prematurely. If this is one of the dog's balls that I need to return, I should be able to pick this thing up. But maybe that's not the case, so I won't get angry yet. Yeah, so the cat tree that we bought for the cats for Christmas is designed for kind of one of the biggest cat breeds out there. And yeah, look, it was a little bit pricey. Some people, if you know, it was, I think, €260. That is quite a lot of money for us. But our thinking is, buy it once, buy it right, and ultimately you'll save money. And yeah, that so far, you know, we've had it less than a month, but that definitely seems to be the case. The way it's built, it's just so structurally sound. If you have your own cat trees, a lot of them are made from cardboard, and then they're wrapped in kind of twine. You know, you could break it easily if you wanted to break one. You could break it over your knee. You know, it's like a packaging tube, a cardboard packaging tube, just wrapped in twine. This is not the case in this one. It's, I would say, half a foot in diameter, more even, and really structurally sound and really strong. So yeah, look, I might even put their website, a link to the website in my description, because it is so good. And Orla's family haven't seen our tree, and critically, how much our cats love the new tree. You know, it's great saying, oh, it's brilliant, it's structurally sound, it's this, it looks good, it'll last 10 years. If the cats don't use it, then it's worthless. That is not the case. I think since we got it, it was a little bit after Christmas, just because of postage and such. If I can't get this ball through this gap, I swear to God. Please. Oh, thank God. Right, good game design, thank you. It was a little bit after Christmas that it was delivered. Since I have built that tree, they have not left it. They absolutely love it. To the point where they're nearly fighting to get into the pouch, and they're taking shifts. So someone might be in it for half an hour. Do you know what it's like? In a previous episode, the little cat that was on the roof, wherever that little cat might be now, and I duped them into getting out of the nap spot, the satellite dish, so that I could nap in it. That is what our cats are like. One of them will purposely dupe the other into getting up so they can steal their spot in this new cat tree. So look, I won't go on any more about it. The website's called RHR Pets. They've loads of different options. You know, if your budget is in the range of a local pet shop, like here in Ireland we've Pet Mania, you might pay €100, €150 for a tree. They have options too, and arguably better than some of the items you might get in Pet Mania, or Pet Stop, or wherever. Yeah, that's. I'll leave it there. Can't recommend it enough. The cats absolutely love it, and hopefully it'll last 5 years, maybe even longer, because it's so well built. So yeah. Another, I suppose, what I just discussed isn't a plug, because as I said, it's not an endorsement, it's not a sponsorship or anything like that. It's just me calling out a really good product. This is a plug, what I'm about to say next. A few years ago, during lockdown, during COVID, Orla and I set up an Instagram account for our pets, and I would like to use this as a platform to advertise that Instagram, I guess. Um, but I'll get to that in a second. Let's see what this sheep has to say. Little potato. Yeah, no worries, mate. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's phenomenal. Hats, isn't it? Yeah. This actually, no way. In the previous episode, I think I called this one out. I was like, oh, this one looks cool. I wonder, is it a Frenchie? Phenomenal. Now, another thing that I was hoping to try, I think we've done all the dog's bones, unfortunately, but you know, the dogs would bark at us as we ran past. I wanted to try wear this and see would they still bark at me, but alas, maybe that's for someone else to figure out. But yeah, back to the plug. Back to the plug. Yeah, so Orla and I set up an Instagram account. It's called Zeus and Friends. I'll put that, a link to that in the description as well. So Zeus, where does that come from? Orla's German Shepherd that she got a few years ago with her family. Her family's German Shepherd. His name is Zeus. So, Zeus and Friends. And that was before we got any of our own cats. I think at the time Orla's family may have only had 1 or 2 cats when we set up the Instagram. So that's why it's kind of more centered around Zeus. It kind of, when we moved away, as I said, we set it up during lockdown. We were living with Orla's family. You know, you're looking at the dog every single day. So it was very easy to get pictures of him and stuff like that. When Orla and I moved away, it kind of went into a little bit of a hiatus, and we haven't posted up until 2 weeks ago, really. Now let's see, can it match the Shiba hat? No, it cannot. Crab hat's pretty cool, but it cannot rival the Shiba. Yeah, just, we moved away. We had Mooney and Nenya with us. We moved away, but the Instagram kind of went into a hiatus and we stopped posting up until a couple of weeks ago. And I guess in episode 1 I talked about how we lost Athena this year, and how this channel and this series, I guess, is a little bit of a testament to Athena's memory. We've lost some other friends along the way too. Orla lost her childhood dog just to old age. His name was Woody. He was a really good boy. Simple, definitely simple, but sometimes simple is good. And what he didn't have in brains, he had in loyalty and heart. And yeah, poor old Woody. He just got old. He lost a lot of weight very quickly, and we knew it was time to let him go. So we all went as a family down to the vet, and we let him move on. Orla's family also, big animal people. They took in a goat. That is definitely a story for another video. But yeah, at one stage Orla's family had a pet goat as well. Unfortunately we lost him as well. His name was Gunter, and a little bit more tragic, I suppose, than Woody. Gunter was quite young when he passed away, but as I said, that is, from start to finish, that is a story for another video. How they found Gunter, the absolute antics that he got up to when he lived with us, that's for another day, I think. My childhood dog as well. 2 years ago. Just again, he's just an old boy. Um, he was my first dog when I moved to Ireland. His name is Ben. So Orla and I, we went on holiday to Australia, um, to see some family and stuff like that. And when we came back, my brother rang me and he said, "Look, I didn't want to ruin your holiday, but we had to let Benny go. It was time." And like even the way I phrased that, you can't you can't be you can't dispute that. When it's time to let go, it's time. And as pet owners, as I don't like the word owners, but as the people responsible for that animal's well-being, um, you have to put aside your own hurt and heartbreak and release their spirit, um, so they're not suffering anymore. Um, not bringing religion into this or anything like that. Just the being that is your pet. Um, if they're in pain, if they're hurting, you need to know when to let them go, and I suppose remember them and you know honor them by thinking of the times you had with them and being grateful for that time. Um, so yeah, my poor Benji. Um, we adopted him from a rescue shelter. I think his previous owner was either from the States or immigrating to the States. I don't know, but um, moved to the States anyway. Gave Benji up to the shelter, and my family adopted him, and that was our first dog. Um, when we moved to Ireland, and he was a bit grumpy. I'm not gonna lie. Very defensive over food. Um, very scared of wooden floors and carpets and stuff like that. He was quite an anxious dog looking back on it now, but he was still a very good boy. Um, and Athena, as I mentioned, yeah, we lost Athena too, and I think next week we're gonna have to let Benji's sister go. So Ben was a black Labrador. Um, I think fully black lab. And we decided to get a second dog who was like a half kind of collie, I think, or sheepdog, and half black Labrador. And her name's Layla. So those are my two childhood dogs, and I think it's time to let Layla go as well. She's not doing too well, but again, it's not tragic. Um, she's an old dog. She's had a good life. She's been loved. Um, like Gunter, got up to a few antics as well, involving sheep and such out in the countryside. But yeah, I think by this time next week, we're gonna have to let Layla cross the Rainbow Bridge, as I like to call it. Anyway, this is all very doom and gloom, isn't it, folks? The reason why am I talking about this? Why am I getting up in my feels? Because we've lost so many of our friends over the past few years, Orla and I said, look, let's like this YouTube channel. Let's just put something out there. It doesn't matter if it's good. It doesn't matter if it gets 1 million views or if it gets 2 views. The point is that we're putting content out there that means something to us, and we're not doing it for anyone but us. So I'm gonna start posting again on Zeus and Friends. If you care to have a look, there'll be a link in the description, to honor, Woody and Ben and Athena and Gunter and such, and pictures of our new friends too. We've lost some of our friends, but we've also gained many as well. So yeah, that's that. Sorry if that was a bit doom and gloom. That wasn't my intention, I suppose. My intention was, oh, the screen's gone a bit kind of fractal, hasn't it? Maybe it's just my monitor clapping out, but it's kind of got like this shine to it, especially on the right hand side here, that white pillar. It's gone into its kind of LED constituents, the red, green and blue. Hello. Well, that was a stroke of luck. Hopefully my monitor isn't clapping out, but we'll keep going. Yeah, my... is that the rotten? No, it's a leaf. I thought we left a piece of bread here before and it had gone rotten. Yeah, it wasn't my intention to kind of put a downer on things or talk about negative stuff. I don't see it as that. That wasn't my intention. You know, some people I think are understandably so afraid of death, and it's quite a difficult talking point. It brings up a lot of memories and I suppose an instinctual fear in us. You know, like I think all of us have self-preservation built into us, and you know we want to avoid the end as much as possible. But it is part of life, and I think we should approach it with reverence and respect, and rather than avoid it and fear it, we should look at it in a more positive way. And I suppose that's what I was trying to convey there. It is very sad that we've lost our pets over the years, but we think back on our memories of them very fondly, and we're very grateful for the time that we had with them, as short as it was. So yeah, I need the crow to appear. I noticed in the previous episode I was getting up in my feels about something, and the crow appeared to shun me of my money. And that's what I need here. Here we go. Look at this. Back to capitalism, folks. Let's not get too deep. Keep the money rolling. A Tangelo. Not something I'm familiar with. Oh, look at that. I've only just noticed that each machine has a certain collection, obviously. See the 4, 2 are ticked and 2 are not, so I was wondering that, are they just at random, or can you just buy your way to the achievement? But obviously not. There's certain hats and certain machines, so that's cool. I appreciate that. Okay. Let's see where we are. I'm gonna try find the chameleon, I think. And also try get Tanuki's portals going. I want to try get all of them where possible, providing it's not too boring and stuff, you know. If we're at the end of the game, there's no need for me to go after these portals, because, well, why would we, you know? So, I have a feeling the chameleon is somewhere around here. I thought there was maybe a vent around here somewhere. Oh no, maybe it's in here actually. Here we go. Or it's that person's bedroom. Yeah, I seen it before it happened. There's a bedroom somewhere that I got into before as well, which I need to try find. Look at this gameplay, not a single slip. And yeah, I was already here. There's a shiny down there on that ledge, but that's not really important. What I might do, in the interest of time, is just find where that room is. Because what have we got here? You know, we've got apparently, you know, one last quest with the chameleon, and then we have to get back home. So I don't want to spend the rest of this video running around looking for the chameleon when I could potentially finish it in one go. That being said, we're on 34 minutes right now, so we'll see. We'll keep going. Keep talking, I suppose. 34 minutes in, and I've only gone through my first talking point, but that's not a bad thing either. It's nice to see how, I was going to say conversation, it's not really a conversation, but how the monologue flows, you know. I might set out some talking points and it'll lead me in a different direction, and that's okay too. So yeah, I did mention, and it is something I want to talk about because it's in relation to New Year's resolutions. So talking about New Year's resolutions in episode 25 is no good. Um, so yeah, Orla and I sat down. What we try to do every year um, is make goals for the year. So personal goals for each other. So I'll have my goals, she'll have hers, but also goals for the house. You know, we want to renovate the bathroom by 2026, for example. Small things like that. So we went through our goals from 2024. Um, I think we did pretty good. We had a lot go wrong last year. Um, a lot of unplanned, um, what's the word I'm looking for? Expenditure. You know, like we had to rebuild our shower. We didn't plan that into our budget at all. Um, but these things happen and you have to deal with them. So I think we did really well in 2024 considering how much happened um, to kind of derail us. And as part of this goal activity that we do with each other every year, you know, New Year's resolutions and personal goals inevitably come up. So um, the approach we've taken this year is using an app called Habitica. Um, the app logo is like a purple background with like a white griffin on it. Again, I don't even think I need to say this, but I will just in case. It's not a sponsorship. It's not an endorsement. You know, it's just this little app that I found. I use ChatGPT actually, so I prompted ChatGPT like, this is what I want. I want to have reoccurring events. Um, I want to get a notification when I'm supposed to do these events, and then I want to get like essentially a tick the box for when I complete those events, because you know you can put your goals into your app calendar, but that's just essentially a reminder. You know, oh, here he is. God, I was like, oh, looking around the room, I was like, this is a locked room, can't see him. His camouflage actually worked this time. Just before we talk to him, I'll finish this. I prompted ChatGPT. I want to be able to write down my goals, and I'm talking daily goals, like wake up, make the bed, brush my teeth, and each day I want to be able to tick those off. And if I don't tick those off, I want to get a prompt. I want to get a notification to say, "Hey, it's 9:30. You haven't brushed your teeth. Do you want to go do that now?" Um, and so far the app is great. I'll get into it a little bit more. I just don't want to be standing here as I talk, so we'll talk to the chameleon, see what he has to say, and then I'll continue on with Habitica. Yeah, good man. I thought he was just going to stay silent and pretend like he wasn't there. How exactly did you think being invisible worked before? No, we'll reassure him. We won't be mean. Even with my weird eyes. Yep. Ah, excellent. We're getting all the hats. Thank you for all your help. No worries, Chameleon. Very good. Now I just need to suss how to get out of here. I'm assuming it's as simple as... Well, obviously not, James. Here we go. See, I knew there was a vent. Watch, I came in a different way. But I did... Ah, it's this shop. Yeah. Okay, cool. While we're here, I thought I heard a bird. While we're here, we'll just quickly check that I haven't missed anything. There is a vent up there, but I think we were in there before. Yeah, so Habitica, it's advertised as like an RPG game. So, um, there we go. Yeah. Basically, you create your little character. Very, very simple. Very much like Stardew Valley esque kind of graphics and style and whatnot. You create your own little character, and then you assign it goals and tasks. It's a little bit like a Tamagotchi. That's a very prude and reductive comparison, but to keep it as simple as possible, really, it's like having a little Tamagotchi, and every time you tick off one of your goals, so for me, just like wake up at this time, brush my teeth at this time, you get XP and coins. So over time, you know, it's like D&D as well. I'm making all these comparisons, so hopefully it's making sense. You might start off as a level 1 warrior, and you know, if I do my Duolingo every day for the next year, I'll be a level 10 warrior, for example, just by ticking off my activities. And yeah, so far it's great. I can see how, so you know, you can get pets, you can get armor, stuff like that. You know, it is very kind of D&D esque. Um, I can see over time how the cosmetics kind of become meaningless. Um, you know, it's a big deal to buy your first sword, so you might do 10 activities, um, you know, get your coins and buy a new sword, and like, you know, that's that's cool, you know. But by the time you're buying your 10th sword, the novelty kind of wears off. But nonetheless, I think if you struggle with discipline and routine, like Orla and I do, it certainly won't hurt to use this tool. Um, you know, so yeah, so far we've been doing well. Um, and what I like about it is it's split into three different um, topics or headings, if you like. It took a little bit of figuring out on my part, but once I sussed it, it was pretty good. So one is habits. So every time you do the habit, it's a plus, and say if you miss the habit, it's a minus, or if it's a bad habit like smoking, every time I smoke, I get minus points, and that damages my HP. So, um, you know, the thinking is, it's like, you know, an opponent hitting you when you do a bad habit. Um, so that's the first column. It has habits. So for me, it's like ring my parents, you know, at least once a week. Talk to my friends, you know, basically just send them a text, check in, see how they're doing. And every time I do that, I hit plus. It gives me XP and coins. Then the second column is dailies. And this is, I suppose, where you really want to start building routine and good habits and stuff like that. And I still only have two, right? Yeah. God, I suck at catching birds. Um, that's your daily task. So for me, it's do my Duolingo, um, do the cat litters. Um, what's another one? Drink more water. Um, before I go to bed every night, I want to try drink some water. Um, do a journal entry for mental health, and then also do some skincare. So just like moisturize my face before bed, moisturize my hands and my face. Um, and yeah, that's it. Daily tasks. So if you miss your daily tasks, you lose HP, um, and experience and stuff like that. And if you do them, well then obviously your experience goes up. And then there's a third column which I really appreciate, which is a to-do list. Um, and that's like the once-offs. So, you know, I think for me, um, it's like book the cats in to get vaccinated. They need their annual vaccinations. So that's not a daily task, you know, um, or a habit that I want to build. It's just something I need to do by the end of January. So you can tick those off too. Um, and yeah, look, why am I even talking about this? I suppose just on the topic of New Year, I want to. I actually have this in the app. I mentioned it in the previous episode. By the end of the year, a goal is to have 50 videos on YouTube, or 50 videos this year. That's in the app. You know, it's a to-do list. Every time I upload, I hit plus. I get a little bit of XP. You know, it's a term called gamification. So you take a task that people are reluctant to do. Um, Maybe it's hard to do, and you try gamify it or make it fun. And I think this is used. I say I think because I don't want to sound overly sure, because I'm not an expert in this, but I'm pretty sure, or I think at least, that this is done across different industries. So um, in my work, for example, in the clean room, no one likes to walk across the clean room to put something in the bin. Um, or we have safety blades. Those need to be disposed of safely. Um, People just don't. Humans are lazy. Everyone is in their own way. So the blades get left out. That's a safety concern. So they've turned it into a little game where, the table with the most blades wins. By the end of the week, whoever has the most blades dispensed wins. It's very much like in primary school where you got gold stars for completing homework, or if you look at Tesco, the the blue chips that they have in Tesco, you give that to your favorite charity. Um, it's just a little concept of taking these kind of mundane tasks that people generally avoid and give it some meaning, or um, try and make it a little bit more fun. And yeah, look, if that's what works for me, if it trick my brain into cleaning the litters because I think it's like a video game, then look, the main thing is the litters are getting cleaned and my cats are happy. So yeah, I think I'll leave it there for now. Oh, I was looking at my list of notes rather than looking at the prompt on screen there. I have a few other things I want to talk about, but I'm conscious this is on 47 minutes, so this is probably the longest video I've done. Um, Hopefully the flow has come across quite well. I feel like I'm more confident. Um, Maybe it's a thing, I've been back at work. I've kind of reawoken my communication skills I use in my work life, so maybe that's feeding into this a little bit. I don't know. Maybe I'm talking nonsense, but um, yeah, this episode felt like it flew in, and I might do another episode today just cause. Why not? So I'll leave it there. Hopefully my ramblings were bearable, enjoyable. Not too, what's the word I'm looking for? The opposite of ASMR. Hopefully I sound good. And yeah, I'll talk to you soon.